know what the difference between this thing is and this thing? Well, we're about to show you. Let's start with the late model stock here. You got a PRW chassis here. Alright, here you got your switch panel, MSD box, shifter boot, brake adjuster there. As you can see, plenty of room on the inside of this car. Fuel line there. As you can see right there to your left, there's a fan runs to my helmet. These cars get hot because there's not a lot of airflow in them. There's my seat. As you can see, decent amount of room around the driver. As you'll see in the dirt car, though, it's a lot different. Now let's take a look inside the dirt car. This is a rocket chassis. These cars have more of a cockpit area. It's just aluminum around the driver. Because of the way these cars are designed, these panels are all riveted in instead of welded like they are in the Asphalt car. This will actually make it easier for them to be replaced as the car lives its life. As you can see right here, as I've been saying, not a lot of room in these cars. And another thing is different between this car and an Asphalt car. There's holes actually in the floor pan in front of your feet so water can drain out as you're washing the car. Let's begin with the front suspension. These cars are coilover cars all the way around. These shocks, they're double adjustable. I've had West Page go through them. He does my Asphalt shocks too. These cars have wide 5 hubs on them. The lower A-frame is a little different than what you'll see on that Asphalt car. There's heim joints on both sides. These cars, they have rack and pinion steering systems on them. With the rack and pinion steering system, we just have a tie rod that runs off the rack straight to the spindle. As you can see here, we have the upper A-frame that connects to the spindle. Howl ball joint also in that with some A-frame shims. Now we'll walk around to the left side. As you can see, this thing's got a big nose on it. Just a lot of aerodynamics involved in these cars. Now looking at the left side, very similar to the right side. That cable right there is to keep the left front from traveling down too far so you don't have so much droop in the left front. There's the rack. Alright, moving on to the Asphalt car, we still have coilover front suspension, wide 5 hubs. We have a certain size brake caliper we can only run on this car. This car has a sway bar, unlike the dirt car. Lower A-frame is one solid piece, has slugs in it to move location of the lower. Upper also has slugs with able to move back and forth for caster. So these shocks, these are non-adjustable. We can run single adjustable. This car has a steering box with a center link. That's what I was telling you earlier. These cars are totally different. The way the steering is, you go from the steering box to the steering link, and the steering link drives the 2 tie rod ends. And that's a pretty high cost when it comes to an Asphalt car, those components. Now we'll come to the rear suspension of the dirt car. It's still coilover rear suspension. With wide 5 hubs, you can see these cars have big brakes on them. You about run about as big a brake as you want. The radius rods there keep the rear end in place. Those mounts that they're attached to are can come off. They're just bolted on. Now we'll move on to what really makes these cars unique. Is this spring right here in the middle. This is really the mechanism that gets the car hiked up. It gives it a lot of grip. There's a lot of science behind that. All right, here's the quick change. Has a spool in the rear end. That means both tires are locked together. There's your J-bar, your lift bar. J-bar holds rear end left to right. lift arm is to go up to that fifth cool to help the car when you get in the gas. It's where all the load goes to get the car to hike. Here's the fuel cell in these cars. A little larger than what we have in the Asphalt car. A little different shape. We run E85 in the dirt car, and we run Sunoco 110 racing fuel in the other car. Alright, here on the left rear, similar to the right rear, but even more adjustment than you had on the right rear. You've got adjustment on the bird cage and on the frame. There you see you have two shocks on this left rear. One has a spring on it, one no spring. The extra shock is just really to hold the car up when you let off the gas so it don't drop down and you don't lose steer in the car. And going back to brakes, something different between this and the Asphalt car is the brakes on this car. There's more brake on the rear than there is the front. Still have adjustment front to rear with a shut off on the right front. So here is the fuel cell for the Asphalt car, 22 gallons. We run 110 Sunoco, fuel filter there, fuel nozzle. Looking up underneath here, have fuel cell protection bars around it. Just keep people, when you're up, people run up underneath the back of you, keep them from messing up the can. Similar to the other car, this one has a quick change in it. This one is a Tiger. It has a ratchet in it. So what that means is both tires, when you let off the gas, they both kind of become independent of each other. So it helps the car turn. This car has a track bar on it right there. We can move it up and down on either side to adjust the handling of the race car. This right here, that's a crush panel that just keeps fumes from being inside the car. One of the main things that are different between this car and the dirt car is the truck arms. Truck arms are mounted to the rear end and go to mount up on the frame near the cross member of the car. As you can see, there's multiple holes for this, and you can shim it with a slug back and forth. All right, moving to the other side, this is the track bar adjuster that you saw, just for quick, easy adjustment to move the track bar up and down on the right side. So I hope this video maybe can answer some questions I know you might not have had, but maybe you can get a little bit of appreciation between the two different vehicles. Maybe you're a dirt guy wanting to go asphalt racing, or maybe you're an asphalt guy wanting to go dirt racing. Just if you got any questions, just leave them in the comments. I'll answer them the best I can. Maybe we'll do a video on them. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, comment any questions you have. Hope you're able to go out to the racetrack, dirt or asphalt. Make sure you keep these racetracks alive.